Hi, I'm Carrie and welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a reading for the collective. And as you can see, I have this very large and very beautiful mat here on my table. I have adjusted the camera numerous times to try to set it where you can see all the pieces of the pie, but it's not possible. So you're gonna have to take my word for what we have here on the bottom section. This mat is basically covers all your aspects of life. We have love, spirit, wealth, guidance, hearth, which is the home, career, social, and health are these two that are down here. And for this reading, I am going to pull a tarot card for each one of these sections. And then I am going to do some charm casting over top of the cards. And then we're going to come back and I will give the reading for this. The thing about this style reading where I have everything in a circle, if you have seen me read before, and I have like a 9 card spread out, I like to see how the cards interact with each other, especially the cards that are close to one another. So that is going to come into play here in this reading because everything is going to be here in a circle. We'll look at what's directly across from each other, how that may be affecting, what's here on the table. The charms, however, usually stay relative to what section that they have fallen into. And unless they happen to be on the line, then it can relate to both pieces of the pie. But, we will see as we go along. So I am going to shuffle the cards and then I'm going to try to remember during editing to lower the volume all the way down when I cast the charms because I know how loud this can be, especially if you happen to be listening through earphones or something. So I will try to remember to cut the sound out when I'm casting the charms, but I will be right back with your reading. Okay, we're going to start over here with this section under the category of love. And isn't it serendipitous that we have the Ace of Cups here? So the Ace of Cups is all about that joy, that fulfillment, that connection with others or connection with yourself in some way. So this is telling me it's time to step into that energy. It's time to start. It's time to start maybe expressing love and accepting love also. The thing about that is the bat is here on this card. And I know the bat can represent many different things, but for me, my symbolism is fear because I am terrified of them, hunting, and night. Those are my keywords for this charm here. And since the bat is on the Ace of Cups in the sector of love, this tells me there is a fear. There's a fear of opening yourself up and being vulnerable. There's a fear of letting other people see that side of you because maybe you're afraid that you're going to be judged. Because I've got the Three of Pentacles right across from here. And while I know the Three of Pentacles is working with others in harmony and also to compromise, which that's going to come into play too. But I also feel that you're afraid of what others would think of you or how they would see you if you were to fully let yourself be as vulnerable as this card and that charm are asking you to be. And I have a reversed 0 on here. When the 0 for me is upright, that means that like time's up. Time has ran out now because there's no other number here unless there happens to be another number on the table, but there's no other number going along with this. So time's up. This tells me that it is time to start loving yourself, that it's time to start accepting love in. So it's time to start accepting yourself. The fact that I have the crystal ball here is my intuition charm. You know that you've been closed off. You know that possibly you've been withholding how you're feeling, withholding, opening yourself up, withholding, letting yourself be vulnerable. The Fool right next to this is a message from Spirit. It's time for a change. It's time for a new path. It's time for a new adventure. The Queen of Wands over here, the words I actually hear is step into your bad bitch self. That's I I had to say it. It's just the phrase that is like running through my mind. So embrace who you truly are and don't care about what others think, and let yourself be a little bit vulnerable and start filling your own cup, because you can't give anything back to anyone else once it's depleted. So that's kind of how I see the Ace of Cups here in the love sector. So we're going to move over here to Spirit. Because there's already a section for guidance, I'm going to see Spirit as what is fulfilling your soul, what is filling you from the inside out. And isn't it funny? And I just spotted it now. I did not see it when I was talking about the love card. There is a heart on the Fool. And this tells me to embrace that energy of love. And I hate to repeat that, but that's really what this is saying. The Fool is saying you need a new adventure. You need maybe a new adventure in a relationship. You could be in a relationship and still have a new adventure with your partner. Maybe that if you are not with anyone, maybe it's a new adventure that you need for yourself that's going to fulfill you, that's going to bring that joy from that Ace of Cups back into your life, that is going to make you happy and help you see and understand the blessings that are surrounding you. The star charm can mean a couple things. It can mean not to lose hope, because it can relate to the star card in the tarot. So to not lose hope. But I see this as a representation telling you you are the star. You are the main act in your life. You need to start acting like it. And that's what I feel the Fool and that star combination is. It is time to step up and be the main event in your life, to step into that limelight energy, to step into that knowing your worth. That's kind of what I feel with this star energy, is knowing your worth. Directly across from the Fool is the card Strength. So this is all about, this takes courage. It takes courage to let people see who you really are. It takes courage to stand in your power. It takes courage to start that new adventure, because you know that it's going to fulfill you in some way. So it's time to gather up that strength energy and decide what new adventure, what new path, what new direction you need to go in to fulfill you, to make your heart happy, to be with the star authentically you. That's what I'm feeling with that spirit energy there. So we're going to move up here to this sector, and this is wealth. It's the 10 of Pentacles, which I think is perfect to come out for the wealth section. And this is about making sure this month that you are setting money aside or looking at a plan for the long term. What are you leaving behind? What are you doing that is going to affect your financial future in some way? That's really what I feel with this, because the word now is right beside the 10 of Pentacles, which means this isn't something that can continually be put off to tomorrow. You can't say, oh, that's okay, I've got plenty of time. Plenty of time goes by in the snap of a finger, and then it's the future. So with the now charm, it's saying that you need to start looking at and figuring out where things are going to be for you long term. I've got social directly across from this, but it is the Nine of Cups here. What I feel with the Nine of Cups energy in regards to the Ten of Pentacles. Now, while the Nine of Cups is all about feeling and reaching that fulfillment stage emotionally, for me, with these paired together and that now charm, I feel like it is possibly where you're using things to fill you up. You're using tangible things to make you feel fulfilled in some way, to bring that happiness into your life in some way. But those things are that, if I should say, the feeling is fleeting when you do that. It's not something that sticks with you. It's that endorphin rush when you get that new item in, or spend lavishly on something, and then it quickly fades, and then you have the aftermath to clean up. The fact that I have fun and all, and it was neither side was up. It was like, uh, I've never seen charm land like that before. So this tells me that both of those sides of that charm are relevant. And I keep hearing, putting it together, all fun. This is all fun. It's all fun and games. Okay, it's all fun and games for how long before your financial future catches up with you and the way things are going here? And the reason I say that is because we've got the Fool, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles is all about what's going in, coming out, that give and take energy. So you really need to look at what is going out, what is coming in, especially since the fun and all is closest to this charm. Like I said, over here, I felt like you are trying to fulfill yourself in some way with tangible stuff, and eventually that euphoria runs out. So we have the fan pointed down on this card. That tells me that the expenditures for this portion needs to chill out. That's what I feel with the fan. The fan is like a cooling down period, and that's what I'm getting with that and the way it's pointed. But the fact that the Fool card is right next to the Ten of Pentacles, this is a feeling of, well, okay, I understand that I should be saving in that right now and really looking at um, everything as a whole. But man, there's this really cool new thing I want to do, or there's this really cool new thing I want to buy. That's how I am feeling with that. The fact that it's a reversed cross, and I've been looking at it and looking at it the whole time I'm talking, thinking, what is this reverse cross? What does it mean? And honestly, the words that came to my head were, prayers are not going to help you at this time. So if you put out a large amount of money and you get yourself in a situation, the prayers aren't going to help you. That's kind of how I feel with that energy, because it is a cross reversed. So I'm going to stick with that, especially since I heard that phrase in my head, and I go with what my intuition or what my claircognizance brings through in the reading. So yeah, prayers aren't going to help. So this is a month that you really need to look at what is going out and how things are being spent, and you know should you spend money on this big adventure? Is it sustainable right now? And that sort of thing. So that's what I feel is happening here in your wealth sector. Okay, so over here we have guidance. And the only charm that I can see, the only charm on guidance is the Plague Doctor. I just talked about that give and take energy. And that is what Spirit is bringing forward. They're asking you to evaluate your give and take energy. How much are you putting out to others? How much are you giving back to them as you're taking energy from them too? How much are you giving back to yourself? How much are you spreading yourself thin and not taking a moment to recoup from any of that? What I feel with the Plague Doctor is it's time to rectify this give and take energy before it turns into something I don't want to use the word catastrophic. I mean, that's a little bit over the top, but before you end up on the flip side or the downside of the coin. That's what I'm feeling with this. So it's across from the Queen of Wands. And what I feel is there's a lot of enthusiasm. There's a lot of excitement that you bring to maybe your relationships or to your life in general. But how much are you stretching yourself thin, like I mentioned a moment ago, or how much are you taking and not reciprocating in some way, whatever is going on here in that give and take, it is definitely out of balance for the plague doctor to show up. So this is something that needs serious evaluating and thoughts about how you can proceed from here. And since the Six of Pentacles is actually between two other Pentacles, we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. Maybe this deals with work. You could actually see that because the Three of Pentacles, I always attribute to kind of like your coworker energy. So maybe this is about how much time you're devoting to your coworkers. Are you really pulling your weight on the job? Are you pulling your weight in your relationships, period? I kind of feel that energy too, since we have three here and we have the Ten of Pentacles, which can represent a family, your legacy in some way. So how much are you really pulling your weight in this situation? And are you just, like I said a moment ago, taking and not reciprocating in some way? So, but yeah, that energy is out of balance. All right, let's move over here to the home, which is the hearth. We have the Three of Pentacles. We have a sewing machine. We have the peace dove. I have the ring. And I have the ship, which is actually reversed. And it is across from the Ace of Cups. Looking at this combination, bringing in that Ace of Cups energy with the Six of Pentacles, looking at all of this and the strength, looking at all of this as like the triangle as a whole. I feel like someone in this family or home unit, or someone who, a group of you that feels like family, because we're under the sector of hearth, I feel like one person is trying to hold it all together, trying to continually keep the peace, trying to remind everybody about their commitments, trying to, with the sewing machine, fix the situation, especially with the Ace of Cups over here, reminding people, but we all love each other, but we're all a family, or we're all a unit, or whatever, we're all a friend group, whatever the scenario for you may be. There's one person, who is trying to really desperately, I feel, hold this all together. But with the commitment ring on the outside of this card, I'm feeling like the commitments, the relationships between people not only are extremely strained, but maybe somebody is thinking of leaving, moving away, because this commitment, this ring, is right next to the ship. So that could be one scenario. While the other person is trying to mend and bring some sort of peace and hold it together, there may be somebody who is looking for options. I also feel, though, with this strength card on the other side of this, that there is a willingness still to try to work things out, especially with the Six of Pentacles on the other side. It is going to take a compromise. It is going to take an understanding and a listening for all parties involved, especially with the Ace of Cups over here. That's where I'm getting that being vulnerable, opening yourself up, hearing the other person's side, and taking to heart what that other person is saying here in this situation. That even though you want to be the one that steers the ship, you want to be the one that directs all of this, you need to open yourself up and be vulnerable and listen to what the other person has to say and how they're feeling. Because with the Ace of Cups all the way over here, in relation to heart or hearth and the Three of Pentacles, someone is dismissing, especially with this give and take, they're dismissing another person's feelings. They're dismissing another person's outlook on the situation altogether. So there is some work I feel here that needs to be done on the home front in those relationships that are closest to you. Like I said, the family feels like family, something in that vein. There's some work that needs done with that. Some other of you might be making plans on moving. And I say that because we've got the Three of Pentacles here, and they're like constructing this plan, this idea of moving forward, and trying to do it in a harmonious way. But then I've got the Ship, and I've got that commitment on the outside of that. This tells me that maybe your commitment to this home, to this house, is now done, and you are ready to move on to that new adventure. Now, even though this Fool isn't directly across, I could still see that as that. You're hoping for this peaceful transition because the Peace Dove is close to these two charms right here. And I feel like the sewing machine that is up here close to the images of these people is like you are trying to work through the logistics, you're trying to work through the contracts, working through everything that needs done for this move. And anytime a move takes place, it takes a lot of courage and strength to do that. So that's what I feel is going on here in the hearth or the heart of the home. So that's my reading for this portion. Okay, so we are coming over here to career, and I just noticed I have no charms. This one is kind of on the career. And what is this? Oh, it's a reversed wish. And I have a little bit of the commitment ring here. I guess it's kind of, it's crossed the line. So it's also here in the career sector. Okay, so right away, it is going to take a lot of patience, a lot of strength to get through this month in regards to some of you and your jobs, because I feel there is a lot of commitment here that is needed in this job. You're wishing things were different because the wish is reversed, and you're wanting something new. You're wanting either a new dynamic in the job where maybe it's not so stressful all the time, where you're constantly having to be in this courage, brave state, wondering, hey, do the doors stay open or do they stay closed? That's kind of what I'm getting with this here. I've got the Three of Pentacles over here. There's going to be a lot of maybe biting your tongue, having patience with your coworkers in regards to this, especially those who, if you're working on projects together, or it doesn't matter, any kind of job where you have a coworker where you're like maybe in the same vicinity with one another. It is going to take a lot of courage to get through the next month with them. And again, wishing it's going to be different isn't going to make it different in any way. The Nine of Cups, while this is a fulfillment card, and while she is full of joy and she is fulfilled, when I'm looking at everything else regarding career as a whole, I almost see this as an escape. My mind is somewhere else. My body is somewhere else. I don't want to be here. I just want to escape from this. That's kind of what I get. So it's going to be a rough month. Where, like I said, a lot of patience is needed in order to get through for some of you on the job front, especially with your coworkers. Just make sure you're staying committed to what your job is, what you need to take care of, what needs done for, your portion of the job. And like I said, you may have to bite your tongue in some of this, but hopefully next month will be better, because I don't have many charms, like I said, so there's not much else to go on here for that. Okay, over here for social. Right off the bat with this card, directly across from the Ten of Pentacles, I feel like there are family engagements and you are just trying to find ways to keep the peace, to keep your inner peace, to not lose your cool, to remember that you are happy and that you are fulfilled, and to not let family affect you. But on the flip side of that, it can also represent having a good time, having fun with the family or whatever. However, this is the my ping pong paddle. Yeah, my ping pong paddle charm. And it was reversed. And so when you think of a ping pong paddle, you think of, that back and forth, back and forth. And since it's reversed, and this is the Nine of Cups, and she is all zen here sitting on the beach. She is in her best moment, living her best life right here in this moment of time. You don't want to dive into that back and forth, that tit for tat, that, he said, or she said, whatever scenario it is. And that's why I had brought up, considering that was reversed right there, why you were looking to keep the peace or keep that inner peace when dealing with these family functions that you may have to attend. Right here on the line between social and health, I have a lock, I have a heart with a lock, and then I have the bee. The two locks tells me that you are like you're shutting down in regards to social, in regards to engaging with others, whether that's family, friends, or even social media, because I can see social as social media engagement also. So I've got double locks here, and this tells me that there's a definite closing off from, shutting down, stepping away from, in order to get back to yourself, in order to feel at peace again, in order to maybe step away from the news cycle or whatever the scenario is and come back into your body and yourself. That's what I feel with those two, especially with the heart lock. You are definitely pulling away from other people in the month of October. The bee tells me that there are a lot of social engagements that are available that you could attend, that you could step into. Like, I get that busy as a bee feeling, but you are choosing not to for your own emotional health, not necessarily mental health, but your emotional health, in order to fill your cup again. Like I said, over here with that Ace of Cups, that's what you are looking to do with this Nine of Cups energy. The Strength card, it's going to take a lot to say no. I kind of feel that. It's going to take a lot to stand up to people, say, I don't think I'm going to participate in this. I just need a moment. I need some time to myself, etc. You've got a lot of pushback over here with the Queen of Wands, who's going to try to convince you, oh no, it's just one night. It's just this, that, and the other. But you need to figure out what is emotionally healthy for you and what you can withstand. Don't push your limits. It's interesting that even though it's like over here a little bit, but the Six of Pentacles is also directly across from here, almost directly across. And that give and take is meant, and I said about giving back to yourself. So that's something to think about here in regards to your social sector. And then finally, our last piece of the pie, we have health with the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, as soon as I saw this land on the health piece, I thought, it's time to get your butt moving. It's time to do something, make the change that you have wanted to do, that you feel is best for you, that is healthiest for you, that is going to sustain your health in one way or another. I have the reversed gift here on this card, and the Six of Pentacles is directly across from the health portion, or the Queen of Wands, I'm sorry, card. This tells me what I just said a moment ago with the social. When are you going to give back to yourself? If you don't start taking care of yourself, who is going to do that for you? I feel like with the gift reversed, it's like there's no magic present. There's nothing there that is going to make you be healthy. You have to make those choices for yourself. The reverse gift tells me that you aren't giving anything to yourself on this card. The reversed planet, I see that as you're not seeing the big picture. Because when you think of the planets, you think of the solar system, the galaxy at large. So that's a huge, vast space. So you are not looking at the big picture here. You are not looking at everything. You are like, oh, with the reverse present, maybe compartmentalize certain things. And it's time to bring some energy into taking care of yourself. The B, which is closer here to the Queen of Wands, is another indication that it's time to get moving, it's time to get busy. The fact that I have home away from this, but it's still within the circle. Maybe there are things in the house, in the home, that are stopping you from taking care of yourself, that are maybe preventing you from making those healthy choices in some way, since it's so like far away from this. So that's something to consider also. I don't diagnose, so I'm not going to sit here and diagnose anything with these charms, not for a collective reading. And also directly across is the plague doctor. So, and I said that the charms kind of stick to their section, but it's standing out to me. So I'm going to break my own rule and I'm going to tell you that you have got to start taking care of yourself now so something doesn't happen later on down the road. You've got to start giving back to yourself. It's time. And the Queen of Wands is firing up that energy inside of you, saying, all right, let's go. Let's get moving. I'm excited for this. I'm wanting this change for one reason or another. So that's what I see here in this 8-point wheel reading. Like I said at the beginning, if this is something that interests you where you'd like to have your own personal reading done, check out my Kofi Commissions page for all the information regarding this reading and your own private video. What did you think of this reading? Again, it's for the collective. It's not going to fit for everybody. There may just be little portions that fit for you, and that's okay. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to do all the YouTube things, like and subscribe and share. It's going to help this brand new channel of mine grow, and all the help you can give me, I truly, truly appreciate. And until I see you in the next one, bye.